the cold snap. But yeah, basically once I got the limestone blocks here built, I can also get my other air conditioners put back in here. I should be able to do now with whatever spare steel we've got. The only problem is I need to actually connect up their power here. So I don't have much steel. That is legitimately an issue that I have. I don't want to cross that line there. I don't have much steel. We had to abandon a lot when we moved. And now that we're here, I have not been able to get out to do many caravans to be able to get new supplies. So it's been kind of whatever we've had, unfortunately. So the other thing too is we had a big mechanoid battle over here that took out most of my wind turbines, unfortunately. So we lost that power for a while. I did connect up this set. Hey, there's guinea pigs and shit on the map. Nice. You know, the animal quantity is finally fucking coming back in. Like, I swear we were on this so quickly, non-stop. So it's kind of nice to see that back. But yeah, these three have got power. Not much, but we've got 3 more online and we've got 3 more here online. So that's good. We've got like a midway and we've got like the top corner finally. Obviously the top of my base is like not protected and the bottom of my base is also not protected. Up here is kind of like the easiest spot for them to land. Like they literally came out of the ocean last time. So like there isn't anything I can do about that when they just decide to pop out of the fucking ocean. Like they weren't even in fucking transport pods. Like you can see transport pods above the water. No, they literally just popped out and they were like, yeah, we're here. Anyway, eventually I'll get like the rest of my turrets and I won't have to worry about this. But it's still going to take a bit. It's still going to take a while to get to that point. This grow room should like repair itself. I don't know about the chicken boxes, can probably get out of here. I sort of do want those to be... I'm going to see if my people will let them stay here. Like, I'm not expecting chickens to come sleep in this, but I could make it like a medical thing because that would be right next to like all the herbal medicine, which would mean if my chickens were brought up here, they'd get... I could put them in front of like the heating part of this. It's not going to matter because it's outdoors and stuff, but like, I don't know about you guys, but if you're ever outside and you're cold, you can always like stand in front of like the external vent of a fucking air conditioner. That's the way I look at it, is my animals can come and like do that. I wish it sort of worked that like the area right next to it was like a little bit warmed, but it's sort of not. The other thing too is, well, I do need to connect that up. I still want this to be hidden wires if I can to here, but I don't want it to connect straight to an air conditioner because an air conditioner breaks. I could let it keep going up. Tell you what, hold on. Let's just take it across like that instead. That way it's connecting to the wall. Yes, if one of these air conditioners get broken or whatever, it like breaks the thing, but whatever, you know. I'll get in some extra stone in here too. Oh, that's right, I'll have to move it forwards by that. Be nice like how heaters and some other stuff have light and single block around them. Yeah, I tend to find that that's pretty useful too sometimes because like at least then it like lights an area a little bit, like hallways and stuff. Like I don't think I have any heaters currently constructed. We had to deconstruct them for the steel to rebuild the geothermal fucking generators when my people decided to break that before last winter. So we had like no fucking electricity for a while. That was something. Not because the heating simulation works, but it'd be cool. Yeah, what the fuck is walking over here? What are you guys, builders? Oh yeah. Here's my fleet of builders coming in. Holy shit. What the fuck? Alright, well this is... They're either coming in to eat or build. I haven't had that happen for like a long time. It's been so peaceful, people can do whatever the fuck they want. It's nice. Yeah, people are coming in to get meals and fucking deconstruct stuff and grab animals. Like, Jesus, what a little hotbed. It was beautiful. Yeah, I've got a huntsman in here too. Who was... For a while, she was... Grim was dating her, which was hilarious because Grim's arachnophobe. So obviously that was a very toxic kind of relationship, obviously. Yeah, but he's dating a kangaroo now, which is substantially better because, you know, Grim's like me, Australian, so obviously dating a kangaroo is some like peak relationship goals. But yeah, no, it was so funny for a little while when I was like, hey man, I don't know how to tell you this, but you're in a relationship with like a spider, and he's like, I don't know, he was not cool with that information. But yeah, Grim was, I haven't come across Grim anywhere else in any of my other maps ever. And when I saw him, I'm like, okay, it was literally the very first instance in my first map where I went against my own personal principles of playing RimWorld, where I don't fuck over my allies. And he came in with Fimbum, and I'm like, oh, I have to make a choice about destroying my relationship with my ally to take Grim, or potentially never getting Grim in my colony. Because like, I don't rename anybody, right? So if somebody walks in and they happen to have a name that matches like a friend or a community member or something like that, like I want to take them, right? And so yeah, I ended up fucking them over, and I was really like not happy with it for ages. And then of course the next person to walk in, I think, was Bombay. And Bombay is Eternal Dipsy's in-game character that, you know, they've used the DLC to have an in-game character. So when he walked into my colony, I'm like, you gotta be shitting me. And it's from the same group again. And I'm like, okay, well, let's do this again. I'll take him. Because obviously I wanted him part of my colony and stuff. And then after I made them happy for, a second time, Tryan walked into my colony. So Triantha's fucking colonists walked in from the same fucking group. And I'm like, you gotta be shitting me, I gotta do this again. So yeah, I ended up fucking them over a couple times. They're also offering me persona cores and supersona cores now, as if they think I'm stable enough at this location, but I've got like 2 or 3 more bases that I've got to move to. But they do have tribes people, and I would like to have more people. Skill trainers, medical, and intellectual. We do need plasteel for chairs. That's pretty good. I wonder where this is. Yeah, take me to the bandit camp. Yeah, I can go. How many is that? 18 enemies. Sure. Okay, well, we're in a pretty good spot at the moment where nobody's angry because no starvation and stuff. Alright, I don't want to send any of my originals. I don't have any psychic shock lancers. Oh, I went too far. I don't have any psychic shock lancers, so I don't want to send anybody that I would care to lose. Like, Nikki doesn't have life privileges. Star. Lorena, she can go. Rad is medical, so it would be nice to have at least one person that can do medical shit. And go should be fine to go. Sloan, sure. I don't want to send all of my hunters off my map, but this will be fine. Not sending Grim. Frog could probably go. I don't think Frog's that good of a... Frog's a cook, sorry. No, let's not send him. Wang is a miner. Bowman can go. Shadow can't go. I don't want Shadow to go. Shadow's colonist, so I don't want him to go. Grenade is a great shot, even though they've only got a pistol. Barb isn't as good of a shot as he thinks he is. Salinus can go. I don't know how many people I've selected so far. I don't want to send one of the kangaroos in case it's Grim's wife. I'm pretty sure Herder is the one that's his wife. Because the other one, Fur, doesn't have medical privileges. She can go. Yeah, Kangaroo Gatherer is the cook. That's the other one. I don't want you. Tadashi has tantrum, so he might... Steel and Tadashi can go. Actually, no, Steel can stay. Steel's got blue hair. They're awesome. Mo can go. Mo's a fucking great shot. Sky's not a bad shot. She can stay here just to keep the base down. Mal can stay because he's got issues. Chibo is a psycho. He can go with that. Diamond doesn't have medical privileges. He can go. Mitz can stay. Delicious is always like down to go, so they're going. many have I got? I got like 28 people there. That should be plenty enough. 28 versus 18. I'm sure I'll probably have a good shot at that. Let's stack up the horses. I want to bring shit home. So, like, I want to bring home whatever else I can get off that map. I'm taking a few people that can do, like, a bit of a variety of stuff. So, I want to probably take... Normally it's 1,500, but let's go a little bit higher. Go 1,800 at the moment. That should be fine. Now, I forgot to unclick this before, so let's get rid of hay. I don't think you guys are taking your survival meals. I love that it only says that I've got like 9 survival meals when I've got like 500, but it's not counting them at the moment, so I don't really care. But yeah, they're not taking any of these because somebody will eat that specific one and then they'll have an issue with not being able to go because they can't find the fucking resource, or they can't find the new resource that's replenished it. So we're mostly going to go with like berries, but we want probably... I'd say probably 1,000 or so. Rots in 2 days. Of course it does, but if I add something else to it, it won't probably be rotting. Let's go 1,400. It's only 3 days. It's going to rot in 2. Fine. Alright. It must be that 800 is the limit for that. Yeah. I'll take the risk on the 900. What about... There we go. Alright. I thought so. As soon as I start adding like any additional numbers to berries and shit, I don't want you guys to take all of the... I'll let you guys take the good medicine. I'll let you take about 10 of these in case I get about 10 prisoners. I'm not expecting to get that because I'm going to try this a couple of different ways because I don't have any shock lancers. I may have to send people in to beat them senseless manually. We'll see. Alright. I want more food than this. Fuck it. Let's add some rice to this stack. Let's add like 800 odd rice. 5 days worth of food now. Fantastic. I think it's probably not that long of a trip, but they're fine. They don't really need anything else. They'll probably come into another caravan. I probably should have given them silver, but I need to start stockpiling some of that. I need to start keeping some fucking resources to build. Like, I need silver and I need steel. I do have a little bit of steel, though. I've got, like, 4,000 steel and I don't know... Sorry, 400 steel and I don't know where I've got that from. I'm guessing it's, like, deconstructing a couple things. The other thing is I'll only be able to build these once it's nighttime because these motherfuckers are in here. So, once it's nighttime, they'll go back to their beds and I'll be able to get a couple of people to do construction in here. So the other thing too is I do want this to be a double wall. I sort of do, but I don't. I'm going to say aesthetically pleasing. That's not. I know that the double wall is kind of like buffering it to keep it warmer from like elements and stuff. But like I'll see. During winter I'm not going to need the extra walls, so like it should be fine. And until I can get this powered, it'll also be fine. Alright. So, like, I could have put more tables across by one. Once they pick up all the limestone blocks here, I'll have enough limestone blocks to make the thing. A bulk goods trader. Really? Nice. I could do with some stuff. Anybody got any special names on you lot? This one's literally ill. Love it. I'm gonna assume that's ill and not like Triple L or something like that, but that's an awesome name. I don't need to take you though. Alright, well, I guess let's go find somebody that can have a talk with you. The area. I can't see who's behind there. I think it's Lima. There's Lincoln, Silverware, which you're the Tinkerer. You might be able to do, yeah, you can do social. Come over here and let's... Where are they? There. Alright, well, let's go talk to them. My chocolate trees are starting to grow too. Holy shit, we're going to have chocolate. I went back and I had a look at what we had chocolate-wise before we left. Because I could not for the life remember how much fucking chocolate we had on Quillen, right? And it was 20,000. We had 20,000 chocolate because my people just I built chocolate trees and I forgot. And with the update, they didn't go away. Like, they just went back to like a infancy sort of plant after they got harvested. And so it was like infinite fucking chocolate going on in the background. And not a lot of people do chocolate. And because like my colony, they're not allowed to have any kinds of drugs or alcohol or anything like that because I'm doing a no drugs colony. They get like really shitty about like the lack of recreational variety. Like, they're allowed to have literally like chess, pool, poker. They can play with their game of they can read, like they can watch TV. I got different TVs. They can choose what they want to watch. Like, they've got all of those, but yeah, they really like, as soon as I get like a raid or something and everybody drops their drugs, they're on that like fucking hotcakes. They really are. In vanilla, I can see how chocolate has more utility. But chocolate's one of those things where, like, they can have it for recreation. It also, I think, does a little bit of food as well, I think. Like, I haven't sat there and watched somebody eat it. Like, I probably should at some point. But yeah, usually they just in passing pick something up and they'll make themselves happy or not. Generally, I also have nicer rooms. I generally have, like, good quality beds and all sorts of stuff. Like, I normally have things to make them happy. But because we had to like leave with only whatever we were holding, like, we didn't bring anything that was like fantastic, and now they've only got like the shit that they've got, you know. The DLC's add a lot of recreation types and there aren't many in vanilla. So until like the 1.5 update, I didn't even have books. Like books and magazines and shit weren't a thing. So that was interesting too, because they had even less than that, which is kind of fine. And the was, as soon as I got that, the first thing they fucking did, right, was I got like a variety of different books, and I didn't really know what they'd do specifically. I'm like, oh yeah, it'll just do recreation. Well, apparently it also does like learning and shit too. And so my people ended up researching Starflight. Like, they finished the research. I think they finished the research tree. I'll have to check that, because I wasn't bothering to do it because I'm like, oh, I don't need to. Yeah, I'm like, it won't matter. You guys, before you walk away, can I get you to haul the jelly inside? Just because it's fresh food. Like, the eggs and stuff are too, but I'll see if I can grab somebody else to come out and get stuff. A lot of the time they'll walk past and they'll just, I know Ellie was going to do that, that's fine. They'll just walk past and they'll pick something up and or eat it and stuff. What's this? I got some minor nutrition amount. I figured it does, because when we had to get the last caravan out, the problem that we had was we only had chocolate left at that point. And so the colonists, like the last group of colonists that came in here, like the last 20 odd that arrived, were like severely malnourished because like they ran out of food, and the food that they had for like the first part of the trip was only chocolate. The other thing too is I do have a couple of glitches since that location that was like glitched out after 1.5 updated. So there's a couple of different ones that I see. Every so often I can't rescue people and I have to order somebody like drafted to go and carry a person and put them into a medical bed and stuff like that. So sometimes I can't rescue people. Sometimes I can form a caravan, but my people unload it as they're loading it. So when my caravan goes outside, it won't have any food on it. It will have everything else, but it won't have food. So that's a real problem, that one. So whenever I notice that, the first thing I do is save, close out of the game, and come back in. Because like that's the only way I can kind of change which one I'm dealing with. There's a couple of others, but like I just can't remember them off the top of my head. We had, like when people run wild, there was nothing I could do to make them like rejoin. Like I could capture them and they'd stay in like my prison as like a wild animal for like forever and a day. And they would just never join. But then I learnt that like if I save and reload and try again, it clears away whatever that glitch is and allows me to just like go back to playing like normal. It's really interesting. So it makes it unnecessarily complicated because I've got to figure out what's going wrong sometimes and I don't always notice it. Like, because as you can see, like, there's like dozens of things going on. Like, I'm waiting for it to be 2200 or so hours because my animals should fuck off back to their beds, and then I can send somebody like Esme who's building and stuff. I can send her to do like the construction of these, which I should have enough resources to be able to get my coolers built. Boom rat. It's fine. The books are like that. Like folders give you research. That reminds me of research tab. Okay, I haven't completely finished it, but they did research these two, the Starflight Basics and the vacuum cryo sleep thing. So they did get that from a book. My animals are starting to slowly head off. Alright, hold on. Tofu's in the area, he can build. Let's get you building. Legrand can build. Nasan can build, she's out of hospital. Let's get you building all those while the animals are away from here so I can get the walls up. Some of the guys researched waste pack atomizers when I was still doing microelectronics. Yeah, so that's obviously in like probably one of the DLCs, I'd say, because like I haven't like heard of that myself. But yeah, it would literally be like, I can understand what you mean. Like if you're looking at the research tab, that's like literally probably like researching fabrication before you've researched like the multi-analyzer or something, right? It's like you've already like read the previous tab. That's kind of basically what happened. Is my people got like the Starflight Basics and the cryo sleep casket stuff, and I'm like, where the fuck are you guys researching this? I don't have benches. And then I realized it was all to do with the fucking books, and I'm like, okay, that's fair. Like checkmate to that, because I wasn't expecting it at all. You know, it was quite a crafty like little thing to do. I just hadn't thought of it. No, Azula's woken up. Azula's my cat. She's been very sleepy in the little donut beside me. She's like so warm. Her little nose is like bright, like, I don't know, dark red. I don't know where Phoenix went. He was all over me earlier. Phoenix is also my cat. He was like climbing over me and like meowing and wanting attention and shit. And I'm guessing he's probably asleep with the oh yeah, I don't have enough beds because Dora's in the Zula. Oh my god, no. She decided to get out of the thing and took control of my mouse for a second there. Alright, we're good. Yeah, I was looking at Dorana is chilling in the fucking chiller, so I'm gonna have to get more beds built, which I don't think we've got about 800 wood. I could probably get a couple. Maybe. We'll see. They're related to pawns reserving stacks things, and colonists are just giving up after a while. I have actually had the food one happen to me a couple of times with a smaller colony, but all my food in a couple of stacks, I was pretty certain it was caused by them being reserved. Yeah, see, I thought the same thing until I only had like 18 people left on my map in a colony, right? And all the rest of them were outside of it. So I'm like, when there's like a few thousand, I'm like, it cannot be reserved. In this case, I also thought the exact same thing. Like when I tried to send out the caravan to do the attack quest and we had so little food, I'm like, oh, it's very possible that in the couple of days it's taken to pack, they've probably eaten it. But then I saw them packing the caravan. I saw them literally being like, this is what's going into the caravan. And then I saw people coming over and collecting items from my caravan and taking it back into storage. And I just saw like this huge wave of them come in and just like take everything out of the caravan and go put it away. And I'm like, fucking excuse me? So yeah, we had to like, I basically had to get the people in my caravan to go and manually add items to the caravan that weren't already added. And that's how we got that one out. But yeah, we had a cannibalism incident because my caravan went out with 0 food on it because I just hadn't noticed it. It was just something, you know. Yeah, so I don't do cannibalism. My colony has got a few cannibals in here, but I try to avoid letting them do any cannibalism because anybody that does cannibalism basically will just piss off the colony for 5 days. Like, somebody will die, they're already upset about that for at least 3 to 5 days, and then somebody does cannibalism, everybody's upset for at least 5 days. So that's like 1/3 of like a season, right? So I can't risk that with this many fucking people. But yeah, that one caravan that went out and it had no food. By the time they arrived, they did their attack. A few people died. I wanted to bring the people home to cremate them. And I didn't think about it because, like, I don't do cannibalism, right? So I didn't think about how my hungry colonists, that's the wrong spot, my hungry colonists, of course, got hungry on the way home and decided to have a snack and ended up eating the colonists that I was respectfully bringing home to bury. So, yeah, that was something. That was one of those moments where I was like, yes, this is RimWorld. You know, that moment that like completely humbles you is like then dealing with spring. I think it was, we had to deal with, we went with winter. Last winter we starved, and then in spring we dealt with extremely unhappy colony against like 17 cannibals that came home. They weren't cannibals, they were just forced cannibalism, which was unfortunate. So I think one of the performance updates they did in 1.5, treating each shelf tile as a reserve stack instead of just a stack inside the tile, meaning they block 3 instead of 1 now. That might make sense too. The other thing too is in 1.5 they updated like the amount of threads and stuff per colonist. So like you can have multiple colonists using less like processing power, which is good because previously like we had a bit of an issue once we got up to 235 colonists, and then when 1.5 updated, suddenly having 260 wasn't really any different than like 240. So it was like, oh, okay, I can just have like a shit ton of people. I'm like, can I have like 300? So as far as I know, you can have hundreds of people. It's just like the game will eventually just go down to like a slideshow. But like, we only got that once at the 236 colonists before the update, and that was the only time it was bad enough for me to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna let a couple of people die, you know. But apart from that, like, it's mostly fine. Like, yeah, I'm sure this isn't as fast as like, you know, a brand new colony that's got like not a lot on it, but you gotta remember each one of these people have like a massive social connection with heaps of people that are in this map outside of the map. They've also got like, I don't know, a lifetime of like history and shit that's probably like documented in like history stuff. All sorts of stuff. Like, it's like you gotta have some leniency with this shit, you know. It's like scale it up to past like a year and a half of like runtime as well, and it's like, goddamn, I think it's doing fine, you know. It's an instant food loop. The food out. Was it the food Ouroboros? Well, they had corpses on their loudness. Actually, they probably do, because I don't restrict anything. Yeah, I'd never looked. I didn't know that was a thing. Well, once again, we've learned something here on RimWorld tonight, is that apparently you can decline people from being able to eat people. I didn't know that. I just take the gamble that they may or may not eat somebody at some point in time. Like, usually I don't mind having a couple of corpses around, as long as my people can't see them, because my animals will eat them, and I got a lot of animals. And a lot of these animals in here are like meat eaters and stuff. Like, obviously not all the farm animals and stuff, but I got like a number of like meat eaters and shit that have got to get stuff. I wish that they'd spend a little bit more time training these guys, though. Obviously I got a shit ton of animals that have all got to go and take a piece of rice to each one, but still, you know. A RimWorld moment, so true. Yeah, basically, like, this colony's had a few things. Like, the first location we tried to leave, I left my 7 cooks to being last, and I'm like, oh, it's fine, like, I'll have them cooking until the end, that way they can cook their meals before they go, right? And so then my cook Grasshopper had a fucking psychotic break, basically, and went berserk, and he was like basically on the edge of the map swinging wildly at anybody that was trying to leave, and we were trying to leave. And so he ended up downing people, and I ended up having to send some people back from one of my caravans to try to rescue them and like to get Grasshopper down peacefully so that like we could then get all my cooks out of base. And I lost like a couple of cooks trying to leave that place. So it has been something. And Grasshopper's like a piece of shit. Like, I'm amazed, like, the only thing that's keeping him alive is the fact that he is a cook. Because, like, he's gone through all 3 bases and have had, like, berserk and stuff. And I'm thinking it might be better, like, the next time he goes berserk, I might just revoke his medical privileges. Because basically what happens is if somebody continuously goes off in my colony, I eventually, like, take away their